The Lake Orion community came out to honor those who lost their lives while serving our country with multiple ceremonies, a parade, and a 5K race. The streets of downtown Lake Orion were closed to traffic for the annual Art and Flower Fair benefiting the Orion Arts Center. ONTV recognized its outstanding volunteers during a banquet at Palazzo de Bacci in Orion Township. And runners and walkers of all ages ventured out on the Pollyant Trail for Orion Township's annual Dragon Dash 5K race. Hello everyone, I'm Stacy Calloway. I'll have those stories and so much more on this edition of ONTV News. The origin of Memorial Day dates back to 1868 when Decoration Day honored Union soldiers who were killed during the Civil War. In 1968, Congress declared that the last Sunday in May would be spent honoring those who died in all wars, and that day became known as Memorial Day in 1971. Here in Lake Orion, the community once again came out to honor the fallen with ceremonies, a parade, and a 5K race. On the morning of Monday, May 26th, runners and walkers gathered near Children's Park in downtown Lake Orion for the start of the 9th annual Memorial Day run. Perfect weather brought 475 participants, the largest ever for the event. At 9 a.m., those taking part in the 5-mile run stepped up to the starting line. Go! Just a few minutes later, runners and walkers of all ages lined up to take part in the 5K race. Go!
So we do this to raise money for the Orion Veterans Memorial right there on the corner of O'Donnell and Lapeer Road. This is their only fundraiser that they do, and it supports the long-term sustainability of that beautiful memorial.
Seeing everybody come out here today, what's going through your head?
This is absolutely incredible. The energy has been amazing today. Everyone is showing their support for our veterans, and I couldn't be happier.
The course took runners onto Paint Creek Trail toward Kern Road, where they turned around at the Van Tassel Bridge before heading back to the finish line where they began. Finishing first overall in the 5K race was 14-year-old Charlie Fields of North Branch. He finished with a chip time of 19:11.5.
What brought you all the way out to Lake Orion today?
I'm running high school next year and I want to get faster.
Faster than first place, is that possible?
Yeah.
Talk about the course and conditions today.
Oh, it was very nice because I had shoes on that fit the dirt, but it was kind of hot out. I like it cooler.
The first female to cross the finish line was 25-year-old Adrian Barilski of Lake Orion. She finished with a time of 20:41.4.
Last minute decision, decided to stay in town for the cool weathers. Yeah.
Talk about conditions, course today.
It was great. Perfect day. Nice and sunny, not too hot. Fun course.
Taking place on Memorial Day, did that make it extra special?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was great to see all the veterans out.
30-year-old Ryan Holtz of Royal Oak was the first person to finish the 5-mile run with an impressive time of 29:48. That's a pace of just under 6 minutes per mile.
I was looking for a race. I've been taking 6 months off, so nice to get back after it.
Does it mean anything to you that today's kind of a holiday and to see all these people out here dressed in red, white, and blue?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see everybody dressed up and remember what the day is all about. People who gave the last full measure for our country. So I really appreciate it.
Everyone who participated received a medal as they crossed the finish line.
I want to thank the whole community for making this possible. I mean, we couldn't do this without the people. We couldn't do this without all of our sponsors. But really, it's the support of everybody. It takes the entire village to do this, and they all showed up.
Just as the Memorial Day run was getting underway, a small ceremony was taking place at East Lawn Cemetery on Orion Road. Representatives of American Legion Post 233 gathered near the War Memorial at the cemetery to honor those who lost their lives serving their country. Post Commander Steve Hawkswell welcomed those in attendance and delivered a moving speech. Then Ladies Auxiliary President Sandy Boyd placed a wreath at the monument. Prior to the ceremony, members of the American Legion placed flags at the graves of those who served in the military. At 10 a.m., the group moved over to Children's Park, this time to honor those who lost their lives at sea. Sandy Boyd was prompted to drop a wreath into the waters of Paint Creek.
Well, this is for the folks that gave their lives for us. And this little town, I've been here since 1947, and I'm going to tell you something. There were a whole lot of folks that got away from World War II and the Korea and the whole thing. So it's very, 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 very important to us to give them, you know, just give them something for what they have done for us. This is what it's all about. To honor our guys that gave, ladies and gentlemen who gave their lives for us, so we can do what we can do here in Lake Orion in our country. That's what it's all about.
At 11 a.m., residents began lining the streets of downtown Lake Orion as the annual Memorial Day Parade made its way down Flint Street. Starting at Blanche Sims Elementary, participants traveled west toward Broadway Street, with VFW Post 334's Color Guard leading the way. Taking part in the parade were Cub Scouts, the Lake Orion High School Marching Band, and military vehicles. Participants turned right onto Broadway Street before heading to Elizabeth Street, where the parade came to an end. At 1 p.m., the day's events concluded with the ceremony at the Orion Veterans Memorial. Chairperson Bob Smith greeted visitors, then introduced Cynthia Hale, retired Lieutenant Colonel of the U.S. Air Force, who gave the Memorial Day address.
Saying Happy Memorial Day. So a few years ago, I was talking with a Gold Star mom, and a Gold Star family is a family that has lost an immediate family member, mom, dad, brother, sister, husband, wife, and then they died in active duty military service. So the mom asked me, she said her son had been killed since 9/11. She said, would you mention that it's very hard and difficult and a bit hurtful when someone wishes someone a happy Memorial Day? And I think that's true for many people. When I looked online and kind of was reading about it, it's true. It can seem a bit jarring and a bit insensitive when they're grieving and remember the loss of someone that they love or someone that they served with. Some of the suggestions that they offered was that we could let them know that we'll be remembering what the holiday is about, or just letting them know that you're thinking of them, acknowledging the significance of the day and the sacrifices that they made and their loved one made.
Following the address, VFW Post 334 Commander Jim Hubbard introduced U.S. Navy veteran and Post Chaplain Matt Butkus as the 2025 Veteran of the Year. Then representatives of the VFW read the names of Lake Orion natives lost in all wars, from the Civil War to the most recent conflict, including those veterans who have recently passed away.
Lee F. Carpenter, Clayton Albert Decker, Robert Leland Decker.
The ceremony came to a close with a gun salute and the playing of taps.
Ready?
You'll be able to watch the Memorial Day ceremony in its entirety on Comcast channels 10 and 20, or you can view it on demand on the ONTV YouTube channel and website. Visit OrionONTV.org for more information. This year, Mother's Day fell on Sunday, May 11th. The following weekend, residents had another chance to make Mom feel extra special during a special event in downtown Lake Orion. Over the weekend of May 17th and 18th, Flint and Broadway streets in downtown Lake Orion were closed to traffic for the annual Art and Flower Fair benefiting the Orion Arts Center. 120 vendors lined the streets offering flowers and a wide variety of art. Numerous sponsors and community groups got in on the fun as well. The weather wasn't very cooperative, but it didn't seem to affect attendance.
So this year we have a few more vendors. We did the same footprint as Dragon on the Lake, so we're able to have 20 more vendors. There's a lot of return people, new people. It's been nice to meet all the new vendors, and everyone seems to be really happy.
The Art and Flower Fair was started by the Lake Orion Downtown Development Authority in 2000. The event took a year off in 2020, but it returned in 2021 with the Orion Arts Center running the show.
It's one of our biggest fundraisers. It's how we provide affordable classes for the community, and we can go out and do outreach programming with different community partners for the free art projects, and we can bring in our pottery members and make updates to the studio and gallery.
What can you say to the Lake Orion community for helping make this happen?
It's a huge community effort, and we're so grateful for the support of the Art Center, and it's fun to see all the different groups coming out and helping us every year, and the support, and there's always someone there saying, what can I do, what can I help with, and we're always willing and able to dial out those tasks for volunteers.
The Orion Arts Center and its board are already gearing up for the 16th annual Dragon on the Lake Festival scheduled to take place on August 22nd through the 24th. If you'd like to get involved with the Art Center's largest fundraiser of the year, visit orionartcenter.org for more information. While the Flower Fair was taking place in downtown Lake Orion, runners and walkers were gathering at the Orion Center for the start of a 5K race. ONTV's Emma Schwartz was at the event and brings us the story.
On the morning of Sunday, May 18th, Orion Township Parks and Recs hosted the 29th annual Dragon Dash 5K on the Polly Ann Trail. More than 200 walkers and runners registered for the race.
Really good turnout this year. We had about 250, 260 runners. That's up a little bit over previous years. I credit it all to the weather because it is a perfect day to be out for a run.
Participants left the Orion Center at 9 a.m. and made their way to the Polly Ann Trail, where they headed south towards Civic Center Park. There, they turned around and returned to the finish line back at the Orion Center. All the entry fees that were collected were donated to a nonprofit organization called Orion Area Youth Assistance, where scholarships will be awarded to participants who need financial aid to register for programs in the community. Crossing the finish line first was 38-year-old Alicia Cosella from Clarkston. She finished with a time of 19 minutes and 69 seconds, while Carrie Norton from Shelby Township was the first male to cross the finish line with a time of 20 minutes and 54 seconds.
It was a good day, it's low temperatures. This was my first 5K ever last year, so I wanted to do it again this year. It was a great time. I was just trying to keep up with this little kid I was running with. I plan on continuing racing, hopefully do a marathon later this year.
We have a beautiful medal this year, and every person that crosses the finish line gets one.
This wraps up the last Dragon Dash 5K held here at the Orion Center. The Orion Parks and Recreation will be moving into GLAC, while the school district will be moving into the Orion Center. Reporting live from the Orion Center, I'm Emma Schwartz from ONTV News.
Thanks, Emma, and welcome aboard. A few weeks earlier, Parks and Rec staff was asking residents to lend a hand to make the community a more beautiful place to live. On Friday, April 25th, Orion Township Parks and Rec invited residents to come out to Camp Agawam for the kickoff of the 9th annual Orion Green-Up. Those in attendance were treated to a barbecue and encouraged to pick out an area within Orion Township that needs sprucing up.
Yeah, we're going to kick it off by the residents coming here to sign up and then pick a location they want to contribute to cleaning. This event is about beautifying the community and removing trash from our roadsides.
Well, we come to realize that people are busy and everybody has a different schedule. So we've tried to make it so that it accommodates everybody. So you can come today, enjoy the barbecue, pick out a location where you want to go clean, pick up the materials, and then when it fits your schedule, go clean it up. So anytime this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you just bag up what refuse you find, put it in a bag, tie it in a knot, put it along the side of the road or the trail or wherever you're cleaning up, and the maintenance guys go out and pick it up. Easy peasy.
Traditionally, the Green Up coincides with Earth Day, which falls on April 22nd. This year's event also happened to fall on Arbor Day, the perfect day for staff and volunteers to plant a tree at Camp Agawam.
But it's really about the residents. I mean, the people that live in Orion really love their green spaces. They really go for this, and it's ever more evident on a day like today when people come out and they want to help us make our green spaces beautiful for the entire season, for the entire community.
With the arrival of spring weather, things are ramping up for the Parks and Rec staff. There are plenty of events coming up on the calendar, including the Outdoor Community Garage Sale on June 7th at the Great Lakes Athletic Club and free concerts at Wildwood Kickoff on June 5th with a performance by the North Oakland Concert Band. For more information, visit orionparks.com or follow Orion Township's Parks and Recreation on Facebook. The mission of ONTV is to empower community groups and individuals to create, communicate, and connect through video production. Throughout the year, volunteers assist on productions and even produce programs and podcasts of their own. Recently, ONTV recognized those volunteers who really excelled over the past year. Our own Joe Johnson has all the details.
On the evening of Friday, April 25th, ONTV hosted its annual Volunteer Appreciation Banquet at Palazzo de Bacci on M24. Approximately 50 people, including volunteer producers, hosts, crew, and ONTV staff, enjoyed a fantastic buffet dinner, followed by some competitive games of bocce.
Well, our Volunteer Appreciation Banquet is the one focal point during the year where we reflect back on the previous year activities with our volunteers. And we get to say thank you to them, because without our volunteers, what is a nonprofit community organization without your volunteers? So we celebrate that by inviting them to this year again, we're at Palazzo de Bacci, enjoying a fine meal, giving out awards to those volunteers who really went above and beyond. It really stood out, serving the community of Orion, ONTV, and really supporting community media.
Several volunteers and producers were recognized during an award ceremony. Named Volunteer of the Year was Sue Lovelace, who was unable to attend. Named Producer of the Year was Maureen Perry, who has been producing, editing, and hosting her show. Let's chat about that since May 2023.
First of all, what was your reaction when you found out you were getting recognized here tonight?
Oh my God, I felt like crying. I didn't want anybody to see me cry though, but it was a shock. It was really a shock. I was very surprised.
How do you feel you've benefited from your involvement at ONTV? What does ONTV allow you to do and accomplish as a producer?
It helps me to do the things, to present the things that I'm interested in, where I probably wouldn't have a chance to do anywhere else. So, yeah, and it helps build up my confidence too.
The award for Podcast of the Year went to Jason and Kathy Arthur, who have been producing their podcast Talking Nude since 2023, which can be found on SoundCloud.
You know, honestly, we never really did it for an award. We just did it because we like people.
Yeah.
You know,
and we're in season 3, so
I mean, you've
yeah.
been on there. We've had some really cool, interesting guests on there, and you never know what we're going to talk about. So I think that's what's it's bringing us back, is you never know, like, where we're going with it.
Yeah.
You know?
We've had a couple friends come and take the podcast class and the other production classes that ONTV does give. So it's great education, you guys. Why not come on in? And then it allows yourself to have that creative expression.
And you're giving back to the community. You're doing something that you love, but you're also helping the community out, because it's a nonprofit. So it's like, we don't do it. We don't get paid for it. We do it
because we love it.
Yeah, we
it's
love
out
it.
of the passion.
Yeah.
The Spirit of Public Access Award traditionally goes to the producer who embodies the independent spirit of community media. Barb and Chris Gully, who have been producing Barb's Tea Service for just over a year, were invited to step up and receive the award.
Talk about what ONTV has allowed you to do, allowed you to accomplish.
Well, a lot, I'll tell you, because when you aired the first podcast, I was a little rusty, but you've worked with us to kind of polish it out, and we've been able to bring people in and as special guests to talk about their passions as well. And it's been wonderful. It's a great community.
And it's just a lot of fun.
It is.
And receiving a special milestone award was Bob Lowe, the producer and talented performer on Bob's Music Time. Bob has produced approximately 50 episodes of his popular program since he got involved with ONTV in 2013, but had been performing on community television long before that.
Because it's fun, it's free, and you guys know what you're doing. You make me look decent.
What does it mean for you to know that people seem to appreciate what you're doing?
It's really hard to describe because sometimes you think what you're doing don't amount to much, and then you find out that, yeah, it does.
It's rare when you talk about other community media centers to have so many repeat volunteers, producers over the years. We have volunteers who have been with us for almost 13 years. We have some volunteer producers that have been with us for 15, 16 years. The longest one is almost 30 years. It's pretty wild. But that shows the health of an organization, right? We like to have fun at ONTV. This is giving back to your community, expressing yourself, being creative. And I think those who really harness and really love those elements, being creative and speaking their mind and giving back to their community, those are the ones that rise to the top, and that's who we honored tonight.
If you have an idea for a TV show or podcast, be sure to reach out to ONTV by calling 248-393-1060 or visit OrionONTV.org. In Orion Township, this is Joe Johnson reporting for ONTV News.
Thanks, Joe, and congratulations to all the award winners. The businesses that make up the membership of the Orion Area Chamber of Commerce enjoy special perks throughout the year, including networking events. Recently, the Chamber hosted an event that celebrated inspirational women, and ONTV's Tessa Penzine was there.
On the afternoon of Thursday, May 8th, more than 100 women and a few men arrived at Addison Oaks Buell Estate for the second annual Women of Inspiration Luncheon, hosted by the Orion Area Chamber of Commerce.
Each year, about 100 plus women gather together to inspire each other, mentor each other, and just learn from each other. So today the room was abuzz with 100 plus women and a few good men that just got together to collaborate, and also just a great day out of the office to take a little bit of time for themselves to take a deep breath, and especially appropriate with Mother's Day right around the corner.
Those in attendance received swag bags and enjoyed a buffet lunch. A number of lucky winners went home with gift baskets donated by local businesses. The highlight of the afternoon was a presentation by leadership and authenticity coach Valerie Garcia, who wrote the book We're Gonna Need Cake, celebrating authentic leadership in a messy world.
And I think what inspired me to write it is the idea that we are all messy, especially at work. And sometimes we come to work with these preconceived ideas that we need to leave all the mess at the door and show up super professional. And the book really talks about how we bring our emotions to work and be whole people.
Why do you think it's important to speak at events like this, especially to women in business?
I think it's important, especially because as women, a lot of times we're juggling a million different plates, right? We have home and we have work and we have life and we have all the things. And I especially love working with women who realize, hey, the mess is just part of the process. And we're all in a community here who understands that. So it's really awesome to bring everyone together and experience that together.
With the luncheon behind them, the Chamber is now gearing up for their 75th anniversary celebration, scheduled to take place on Tuesday, June 17th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Paint Creek Country Club. Registration is required. Visit OrionAreaChamber.com for more information. At Addison Oaks, I'm Tessa Penzine, reporting for ONTV News.
Thanks, Tessa. In addition to networking events, the Chamber also welcomes new businesses and recognizes those celebrating a milestone by hosting a special ceremony for members. On Thursday, May 15th, representatives of the Chamber of Commerce gathered at Coney Express on Brown Road to help them celebrate their official grand opening with the ribbon-cutting ceremony.
All right, 1, 2, 3. The
Coney Express! It means a lot to us because there is
a business on every corner and every Coney Island, and it means a lot that the community supports us, and we hope to give back. And we're fresh in this community, but we hope to give back to our customers and to everyone that supports us. We hope that we can support them in some way in the future.
The family-owned business began more than 2 decades ago, and there are locations throughout the metro Detroit area.
So my family opened up Legends Coney Express in East Point 21 years ago. And then Audie, he's been in the business for 14 years in Lake Orion with Old Detroit and Lapeer. And then he opened the Orion Express on M24 and then this. And now he's opening another Old Detroit in Rochester Hills. So for 20 years, we've been in the business and doing our thing.
The location on Brown Road began serving customers in December of 2024. Although it offers drive-through service, there is a picnic area that customers can enjoy on a nice day.
We offer Wiggly's corned beef Eastern Market, very good quality. We have Kogold's hot dogs. We have pitas, salads that are fresh, romaine, everything. They're fresh ingredients, made every day. We have chicken lemon rice soup that's homemade, delicious. Our ranch and Greek are homemade, the pink Greek, everyone loves. It's homemade. We have very big menu. And we also have cakes, caramel Oreo, strawberry crunch, German chocolate, and yeah, we have a lot.
The Brown Road location is the second Coney Express in Lake Orion, joining the first location at 1476 South Lapeer Road, just south of Clarkson Road. For more information, visit orionexpress.com. And with that, we'll wrap up this edition of ONTV News. On behalf of the hardworking ONTV News team, I'm Stacy Calloway. Thanks for watching.